Everything you need to know about products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on CL 650.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday night. Yeah, rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub.
Splashing in the tub, leaving the dishwasher running and leaving the washing machine on is a theme I think we're going to get to in this next segment. We're talking StrataLife, the experts on call here on CL 650. Property management, we have Drew Grout from Key Pacific Property Management, Jim McGregor from JMac Mechanical Services, and Albert Atfield from CanStar Restorations. Now, we are going to talk a bit about water here. You were mentioning in the first segment that it's, what, 80% of
about 85%?
85% of the problems in a strata come from water.
That's the latest I've heard from the insurers.
Now,
it's that big a cause.
Now, Jim, the main rules: don't leave the dishwasher running when you're not home. Don't leave the washing machine running. Don't leave the bathtub running.
That's right.
When you're not watching it, right?
It's called common sense.
Yeah.
But most of us that are busy in life, we seem to put that on the back burner sometimes.
The dishwasher's noisy. Yeah. I don't want to listen to it. I'm going to put it on and go shopping.
Yeah. Anytime that there's something happening in your house when you're not home, you're probably looking somewhere down the road. You're going to have a problem, right?
So I should never leave the cat. The cat's going to run the bath and put the dishwasher on. You never trust him.
I have a dog at home, and I tie him up all the time when I leave.
Well, oddly enough, I did have a situation where a dog did turn on the sink one time and flood out 12 units.
Yeah.
That's what the owner said. It was the dog.
Yeah, that's my dog ate it.
Truth. Yeah.
The dog did it. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about water. When should an owner consider replacing a hot water tank? What should they look for? What's the lifespan of a hot water tank?
Well, you can, right now, for the most part, if you went down to, say, Home Depot, or if you get a contractor come in, they give you an 8-year warranty, and if you pay a little bit extra, you can get a 12-year warranty. But what I find out there, whatever the warranty says on the tank, it usually runs out just about the date after the warranty expires.
It's amazing,
right?
that.
Yeah. So, there's a few things you can look at when doing that. And if it's just like, for me, if I walk through my house and I just, as I'm doing other things, I can walk by, I might look at my hot water tank once in a while, and just things that I would notice because I'm in the industry. If there's a lot of rust building up around the base of it, and you can see it coming through the jacket or at the top of the tank where the pipes connect to it. And those are little signs that give you that, okay, that might be having a problem pretty soon. But with a hot water tank, you're supposed to flush it once a year with a garden hose.
Oh, well, I would never know that.
And see, that's the problem. Most people...
Does it affect the capacity to heat?
It does. And if there's debris building up in the bottom of your tank, it's a dead giveaway that things are happening in your tank. So if you're flushing it and you're doing the maintenance, it's going to give you those telltale signs that maybe something's happening here and we should do something about it. But I would say that if you have a tank that's 8 years old or older in your home, you have concerns.
Okay, Jim, can I get your number? Because mine is 10 years old.
It's going to go. It's going to go.
It better not be while I'm here.
Yeah. So that's that's the way I'd look at it. When they start to age like that, if I was to have one in my house that's getting on in years, if I'm going to go on holidays or something like that, I might be shutting that off, right?
Now, I don't want to switch. Yeah, I switch it down to vacation mode.
Yeah.
It's just the pilot is basically just keeping it a bit warm.
But all that does is it's not so much because you still have water pressure in your tank.
Yeah.
Like most people that phone me to replace a hot water tank, the water's already on the floor when they phone me. They don't phone me a month or two before it happens because nobody knows. They always wait for it to get a hole, they flood their place, then I get the call. Very few times do I get somebody, and it's happened, where somebody phone me up and says, hey, I've got an old tank, I want you to flip it out. But that doesn't happen very often.
So they wait for it to break.
That's right. So what I would do, if you don't know the age of your tank, and most people, it just seems like I just replaced it, but that was 10 years ago, right?
No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is, if there is a serial number on your tank, and if you get the brand or the model of your tank, phone up the wholesalers and find out which one sells that particular model. If you give them your serial number, they will tell you the date and the time and where it was made. And then you can still find out if it's under warranty at that point. And so if it is under warranty, you actually get a new tank. But you have to pay for the labor for the new one to get in. So the key is if it is under warranty, is maybe if you're lucky enough to get it underneath that, right? Then that tank is covered. And all the wholesalers, it's on a computer system. Like when I buy a new tank at the wholesaler, it gets registered at the company that they've bought it from, at that time. So, for instance, if I bought a tank with an 8-year warranty, if it goes in between that 8 years, that person phones me back again and says my tank's gone, I can get them a new tank, but they have to pay for the labor to put the new one in.
All right, continuing with the water theme, why change to braided stainless steel hoses on a washing machine from the rubber hoses, and how often should they be changed? I have this this clear plastic. Apparently, it's like warranted for 100 years or something. It's a real high-end plastic hose. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's probably got a nylon braiding in it or something.
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
It was some fancy. But I remember what was the big deal when I got the washing machine.
Yeah.
Is this hose is the hose apparently of all hoses. So you know, hooking up your washing machine, if you got an in unit washer and dryer, so most people set it and forget it, right?
That's right. So there again, it's coming down to your own in-house maintenance program, which every owner should do. And all of us don't do it enough. But if if you just look at your hoses once in a while, and if it was a 1 month thing, or every time you're doing the laundry or in the dishwasher has got hoses on it too underneath. You know, a lot of people do it that way too. The flex hoses, the steel braided ones, are stronger than the rubber ones. And the steel braiding gives you an extra protection against, like, rubber hoses bulge when they get fatigued and tired.
You see that with your garden hose.
Exactly, and that's exactly what's happening.
Your rad hose.
Yeah.
Your rat hose, exactly, yeah.
If they fail at that point, you have no protection other than reaching and shutting the valves off. And so,
And if you're not there, as
if
we
you're
mentioned,
not there, you've got a problem, right? So most of these, like a dishwasher and a clothes washer I'd mentioned too, they should have shock arresters on them, because both of those units have solenoids in them, or they can have.
What does that mean?
A solenoid is a quick, it's an electric device that's part of the unit that shuts the water off quickly. It's got a snap to it when it shuts off. So if you have rubber hoses or type of hoses on it, and they are fatiguing, it could give you a problem. So they give you a shock arrestor, like on a laundry box. You see a little white laundry box on the wall. It's got two little, they look like air canisters that are on the water lines. Those are your shock arresters, and what they do is, if there is a quick shutting valve somewhere in the system, it takes the shock out and it protects the hoses and the equipment that it's serving, right?
Yeah, now with people going to washing clothes in cold water, we have the cold water detergents, and for the most part, if you're using cold water, you're using that line more. I understand that cold water isn't as hard on the hoses and pipes as hot water. Is that true?
That's true, yeah.
So you running your washing machine with cold water is probably a little bit better?
That's right, for sure. The hot water is hard on every rubber washer there is. Like, you know, and that there again, if there's no maintenance program, you know, I can look at something just passing by, because, like I say, my eyes trained for it, and I can say that doesn't look good, right? But the normal homeowner will say, well, looks good to me, right?
Well, this is one of the things when I bought this drying machine, it doesn't have a hot water connection. It's an in-unit heater, right? So it's just a cold water supply. And that was one of the selling features, is that there's no drain on it because it's only cold water. So there you go. I'll tell you the brand off the break.
There you go.
All right. So we're continuing with the water. You suggest switching the water off in your unit if you can, if you have a localized shut-off when you go away on vacation.
Well, for sure. And I would say, you know, that being said, too, I don't expect everybody every time they do their laundry to go shut their water off or something when they're going off home. But, you know, if you're doing a maintenance program to begin with, and you have confidence in the equipment that you have, that it's all in good shape, you can probably get away with a bit more when you're not at home, right? But if you're not doing anything at all, you could have a potential hazard happening at any time.
Well, let's just run through the snowbird situation, right? We got a lot of people, they say, enough of the rain, I'm heading down to California for 3 months, or Mexico, and they leave their unit and they turn the key and they walk away. When they come back, is it typically when you see the problems?
It can be. I get lots of calls when people aren't home. That it's usually from a property manager saying, we have a problem in this unit, we have to get into it and fix it, right? But for me, if I was going to leave for a long time, and especially if I lived, say, on the second floor of a 3-story building, and I knew I had my own shut-off valves in there, I would probably shut it off. And I would probably shut my own, even at home. I've seen lots of basements get flooded. And I'm sure Albert could say that in 20 minutes, how much water damage can happen in 20 minutes. By the time the call goes out to the property manager, the damage is done. You know, there's a lot of water in your place at that time. So I would consider, if you're going away for a long time and you don't have somebody living in your residence, I would shut it off. Just because you're going to sleep better at night.
Yeah.
And insurance-wise and everything else, it just takes a whole bunch off.
Takes a whole bunch of layers off.
That's
You can
right.
say to your insurer,
Yeah.
hey, it was shut off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're just we're talking about all the issues that can happen with StrataLife. That's the subject for today's show. We have our experts here on Experts on Call. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation about what you should be looking for in StrataLife.
This is Experts on Call on CIL 650.